the truth is like if this crowd were large enough, eventually there would be at least one person in the crowd that actually really was hurt by that joke, and that's true. I think that's true of even the best jokes. So like there's this idea that we basically have to, comics at least, have to adapt to the most thin-skinned person in the room.
What does it mean to be hurt
don't.
by a joke?
Well, I think you know it when you feel it. I mean, I felt this. It's like a joke. It wasn't funny to you. It's a gut feeling.
Yeah, I've look. One time I was dating this girl. She had an abortion. Don't worry, we broke up. And anyway, she and I went to a club together, and the comic that was on stage was doing bad abortion jokes, and I was sitting with her like, you know what I mean? Like I've been offended, but
right.
But I'm not a pussy. I shut the fuck up about it. I wasn't gonna be like, hey, cut it out. I knew that it was a joke.
They did cut it out.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good joke.
That's a great joke.
That's a good joke.
That's not how they do it. They don't cut it out.
It was in rural Pennsylvania.
They suck it out.
What kind of
suck
abortion?
it out.
True,
Suck
that would
it,
have
okay?
been funny. Be like, hey, you better scoop it off.
Yeah.
Suck it out right now. But yeah, no, I've been there. I understand when but yeah, you gotta be quiet if you're the person that's like.
Yeah, but the question is how hurt. If you get hurt by a joke, like if somebody does a joke about your grandmother dying, and your grandmother just happened to die the day before. Well, how absurd for you to think that comedian should have known that my grandmother died.
Of course,
and that was in poor taste, and I'll never patronize that comedy club again. Yeah. But now, and that's their right. If they would say, I'm not going to patronize that comedy club or see that comedian again. But now it's like, and I'm going to get everybody I know to make sure that
person
comic
has
never
no friends,
works again.
period.
Because he told a joke that hurt my feelings that only I knew about at the time.
Yeah.
That's where the problem is.
Yeah.
It's
Right,
not
that's
so much,
social media, too.
It's not so much the fact that you get yourself in trouble. It's that it's like, who else can I get to come along and hate that guy with me?
Yeah.
That's what it's become. My mother used to say when she'd hear a joke, she'd go, "Oh, that's in poor taste." Do you remember that phrase? Poor taste.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it.
Fuck
That
her.
Don Rickles, poor taste. Well, that's what he said. Fuck you, Mom. What are you?
Motherfucker. Shut the fuck
He just
up.
called the guy a hockey puck. Who got her with that? No, but it's true. And people would get on with their lives. But now there's an agenda. Oh, you said something that hurts me. Now I must get my army together and make sure that person or that establishment goes out of business. And that, I think,
I
is
think
nuts.
there's part of that. I think the trickiest thing is the audience feeling discomfort laughing at things that they do believe are funny. I think that's the biggest difference. I'm not really worried. And again, I operate maybe a little bit kind of out of like a system, so it's a little bit maybe different for me. Like I go to like a show of mine, and people are there to hear the type of jokes that I do. They're not waiting to be canceled or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. But sometimes if I perform here, for example, I'll see people in the crowd, they want to laugh, but they're worried that they could be a pariah if they do. Mm-hmm. And that is the heartbreaking thing, because they're actually being a good person. They're going, if I laugh at this, could the trans person in the audience feel bad? Could the gay person in the audience feel bad?
Fuck that.
Could the woman in the audience feel... No, like, there's part of me that wants to go, oh, fuck them, but then there's other part of me that's like, you're kind of being a good person. Like, I can't be angry at you that you're a good person. I'm kind of angry that we're coddling each other so much, and it's almost like we're infantilizing people.
Right.
As if the trans person can't take a joke, as if the gay person can't take a joke. So,
But
yeah, that's just a function of just not having a diverse friend group. That's really what that is. And I'm not saying that for class, but for me as a comic, that is the greatest discomfort. Looking in your eyes and then seeing you hold back a laugh because of the environment.
I talked to Gilbert Gottfried about this exact thing, and he said, what happens now, and I think everyone on the panel who's a comic can agree, is that laughter's involuntary. So you laugh, you're like, oh, that's fun, and then they go like this. That is what happens now. It's like, oh, right, I'm not supposed to laugh at that, and that sucks. That, I think, sucks 150%.
Yeah. So that is unfortunate.
But where did that come from? Who decided what people are supposed to laugh at and not laugh at? Where is that from? What part of the culture decided that?
That's a good question. I guess we're reacting to public scrutiny. So the most scrutinized ideas or jokes or opinions are going to make us feel uncomfortable laughing at. And again, it's our job as comedians to like make the environment silly enough where we can laugh at these things.
Right.
That's my failure. Like if I see you holding back a laugh, even if I think you should laugh at it, and if you were at one of my shows, you would because you feel comfortable enough. The reason I'm here is because I want to make the person who doesn't even know me feel comfortable enough laughing. And that's on me. I got to find a way to make it sillier, make it more absurd or whatever the fuck it is. But I just wish that they felt free enough to laugh.
But that's on them. That's not on you.
Yeah, but it's a if we're having like a greater cultural discussion, which whatever. I just want to fucking make people laugh. But
You love it, dude.
fuck you, Shane. Hey, fuck you, man.
Oh, okay, you guys. Okay, I want to hear what you
big
think
fucking
about
jerk.
this.
Yes.
To me, the strongest argument against the comic going over the line and introducing stuff that we're not supposed to say is that the non-comic people out there will feel empowered to say the thing that we're not supposed to say when the comic makes us laugh by saying that thing. Oh, that's absolute bullshit.
100%.
Yeah, it makes no sense. I don't know who came up. Okay, so there's this thing in comedy that no comedians came up with that term. I think it's a comedy journalist. Like punching up versus punching down. That's not a thing that none of us ever think about. But somehow, somewhere, somebody decided that you punch up if you joke about the people. Society has decided those are the privileged people. You can make fun of them. And that this whole group below them that's like the marginalized. And you can't joke about them because that's punching down. And that's not true. You punch where you think it's funny. That's all it is. Where do we have this thing punching up and punching down?
But it's also a comedian. You see the world through the comedian's eyes. Like a joke is a buildup of tension and then a release. And you know, you really do. I'm a gay. I'm a lessie. I'm a parent.
Prove it. Prove it. Prove it.
Come here, Liz. Let's go.
Now it's interesting. I didn't know about Liz.
No, I transform them. No, but when I came out in the mid '90s as a gay parent. I had kids, and I just started talking about my family, and I was like, I have to talk about family. Everyone talks about like you're a parent. There's so much material, and it definitely changed the way people would come up to me after a show and say, oh, first of all, people would forget that I was gay because I was talking about the same shit that the other parents go through. And then I've had people come up to me thanking me. I had a military guy from Houston say, oh, I see why you guys want to get married now. Like, comedy is powerful if you are talking about, and it's the most palatable way to talk about something subversive. 100%, because you trick them, they're laughing, but they're learning, they're thinking, and that's the power of comedy.
Can I invite another?